Why don't you close your eyes for just a second and take a deep, grounding breath? Welcome to this explainer. We're going on a very intimate journey today, deep into the space where true inner healing actually begins. We aren't going to talk about cold productivity hacks or rigid mechanics. Instead, we're going to observe our mind not as broken machines that need fixing, but as living, breathing landscapes. Think of your mind as a secret garden just waiting to be cultivated. Along this path, we're going to discover how to renew our cognitive soil and awaken some immense forces sleeping right inside of us. I want you to let this question just kind of hang in the air for a moment. When was the last time you allowed yourself to feel true bewilderment? We have this habit, don't we, of treating our brains like these sterile, overworked factories just grinding through tasks. But that's a total illusion. Your mind is an ecosystem. And right at the center of this inner garden, it's the curiosity of our inner child that acts as the very first seed. It's the seed that lets the real magic of learning take root. There's this absolutely beautiful thought from the poet Rumi. He whispers, "Trade your cleverness for bewilderment." Have you ever stopped to wonder why little kids are literally the fastest learners on Earth? It's because they haven't built up those heavy walls of limitation yet. They completely ditch our rigid adult logic and just dive straight into the magic of play, totally vulnerable. They don't even know the word impossible, so they just do it. Okay, let's dive right into the heart of this. There's a disarmingly simple formula for finding our wholeness when it comes to growth. It goes like this. True growth is divided right down the middle. First, 50% of it is simply showing up, literally just honoring the present moment. But that other 50%, that's playing full out. It's engaging without holding anything back. True growth only blossoms when we plunge completely into the waters of right now. And here's where it gets absolutely fascinating. Science calls this neuroplasticity and neurogenesis, but let's look at it through a slightly more poetic lens. Think of neurogenesis as the birth of fresh green shoots in your inner forest. Your mind has this infinite, completely natural capacity to heal, branch out, and expand. Just like water carves out a riverbed, our mental pathways are sculpted by joy, movement, and new experiences. You are never, ever fixed in stone. But our inner forest is taking a bit of a beating right now from what we could call withering winds. Think about the relentless hustle culture and the constant digital exhaustion we all face. They act like these harsh, arid storms. We're dealing with digital overload, digital distraction tearing us out of our presence, and that scary digital dementia where we just outsource our memories and wisdom to our phones. These cold winds violently disconnect us from our own true nature. So how do we protect ourselves from these storms? The absolutely crucial thing to remember is that we are deeply biological sensory beings. We aren't just cold, logical hard drives. Learning is deeply tied to how we feel. Your memories aren't stored in some metallic filing cabinet. They're more like flowers that open up depending on the emotional climate you create. Information plus emotion equals long-term memory. When a piece of knowledge is tied to a really powerful feeling, it plants roots forever in the fertile soil of your mind. Which brings us to a really vital distinction for our own healing. Ask yourself right now, are you a thermometer or are you a thermostat? Think about it. A thermometer is totally passive. It just reacts to the storm outside, rising and falling with the chaos of the world, basically a victim of its environment. But a thermostat has power. It senses the room and then it consciously, gently regulates the internal climate. We have to stop just reacting to the harshness of the world and reclaim the power to set our own emotional temperature. This next idea is a beautiful invitation to look at our own shadows with immense kindness. There's a deeply touching story about a young boy recovering from a severe head injury who ended up carrying the label, "the boy with the broken brain." That label literally became his cage. So what about you? What are the inner voices whispering that you're damaged or incapable or maybe just too old? It's time to meet those mental wounds with infinite gentleness and realize they might just be illusions keeping you captive. Because, as that famous Henry Ford quote reminds us, every single thing we do stems from a core belief. If you secretly believe your mind is broken or fixed, well, then it will be. That negative self-talk is really just a tired, obsolete piece of software running quietly in the background. But here's the beautiful news. You are the author. You have the absolute power to rewrite that code and completely change the story you're telling yourself. Take a look at this. 3 minutes and 59 seconds. This isn't just a time, it's a monument to human freedom. Back in 1954, Roger Bannister ran the mile in under 4 minutes. Before that day, the whole world legitimately believed the human heart would explode if someone tried to run that fast. It was considered literally impossible. But the second Bannister shattered that psychological glass wall, dozens of runners did the exact same thing that very year. Our biggest limits aren't physical. They're just invisible walls we've built in our own minds. So, to tear down those invisible walls and truly heal, we need a massive shift in how we see things. Like Einstein pointed out, we can't cure our exhaustion using the exact same high stress, relentless methods that caused it in the first place. That just doesn't work. We have to elevate our thinking. We've got to adopt a radically new, gentle, and profoundly respectful approach to nurturing the landscape of our soul. And that brings us to a wonderful methodology captured in the simple acronym BFAST: Believe, Exercise, Forget, Active, State, and Teach. Now, please don't look at this as some rigid corporate productivity checklist. I want you to view these 6 steps as seeds for a gentle, daily spiritual practice. Think of them as delicate rituals designed to water your inner garden and plug you back into your deepest vitality. Let's look at a few of these closely. The first, really essential seed here is movement. As the body moves, the brain grooves. Try to stop seeing physical exercise as this punishing chore. Instead, see it as the vital wind that shakes the leaves in your mental forest. Moving your body sends fresh oxygen, life, and vibrant energy all the way down to the deepest roots of your consciousness. It's this intimate, beautiful dance between your muscles and your thoughts. Then, let's talk about the very delicate art of unlearning. To truly learn and heal, sometimes we have to start by forgetting. Empty your cup. It's an invitation to just strip away that heavy, rigid adult armor, the part of us that thinks it already knows everything. Return to that original vulnerability, that beautiful beginner's mind, wide open, porous, and totally ready to welcome the fresh dew of a new morning without a single prejudice. And watch how beautifully everything comes full circle with the teach step. When you learn something with the goal of healing your own wounds, and you hold this pure intention to pass that wisdom onto another soul, you actually learn it twice. Your personal growth stops being a solitary journey. It suddenly becomes a universal offering. It's a shared gift that nourishes the ground for everyone. I want you to really feel the imagery here. Going back to that story of the young boy with learning challenges. He used to ride his bike around his neighborhood searching for a superhero school, just like the X-Men. He was desperately dreaming of a safe refuge for people who didn't fit the mold. And honestly, that resonates with all of us, doesn't it? It's this deeply therapeutic metaphor because we are all in some way searching for a home for our inner child. So if you could wrap your arms around that wounded child inside you right now, what message would you whisper to soothe them? Just as you have the power to comfort the child of your past, I really want you to hold on to this thought. The person you will become in 10 years is watching you, right now. All those tiny, quiet choices you make today to heal your mind, to clear away the mental weeds, to water your dreams, those choices are a profound, invaluable gift to that future you who is just waiting patiently to bloom. As we near the end of our journey today, I want to share a spiritual metaphor that holds incredible power. If an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. If broken by an inside force, life begins. Everything you could possibly need is already right there inside you. True, lasting transformation, it can never be forced onto you from the outside. The awakening of your mind, the healing of your deepest wounds, all of this gorgeous life can only blossom from within your own shell. So I'm going to leave you with a final provocative question to just savor in the quiet of this moment. What beautiful new life is waiting to break free from inside you today? The soil of your mind is so incredibly fertile, and it is just waiting for your presence. Please take gentle care of that inner garden. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I can't wait to see you very soon for another beautiful exploration.